Welcome to KMUZ Theater Talk. I'm Ed Shopes. Co-host Ann McBride and I are here the first and third Fridays of the month to tell you all about what's happening in the Mid-Willamette Valley theater world. Ann is off today, but she'll return on our May 17th program. On today's Theater Talk program, we'll hear from director Brandon Gitchel about auditions for Clue on Stage, happening May 18th at Salem's Pentacle Theatre. Then, in an interview Ann and I had earlier, we'll talk with Tamara McGinnis from Corban University about their High Hopes-themed theater summer camp and how to register your kids for it. But first, let's get started with our Theater Talk calendar. Albany Civic Theater at albanycivic.org, playing May 17th through 25th at ACT, is Carla Boy. In addition to being an absorbing psychological ghost story, Carla Boy explores LGBT issues in its fascinating dissection of a high-profile 1950s Hollywood marriage of convenience that ended with a starlet's death. It's directed by Gillian Alden. Brush Creek Playhouse is at brushcreekplayhouse.com, and Agatha Christie's classic drawing room mystery, The Mousetrap, is opening June 7th and running through June 23rd at Brush Creek. It's directed by Norm Gouveia. Children's Educational Theater is at cetsalem.org, and online registrations are nearly full for CET's 5-week summer theater experience for students from grades 3 through 12. Go to cetsalem.org now, or you may miss out. The Elsinore Theater is at elsinoretheater.com. Here's some exciting news. A new stage show is premiering at the Elsinore, Metropolis the Musical, written by McMinnville actor-director Tracy Ward. This is a new version that combines onstage action with the original silent film made by Fritz Lang in 1927 as a backdrop, along with music from Giorgio Moroder's 1984 film version. Auditions for casting adult and children roles are May 4th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and May 5th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Grange Hall, 1700 Old Sheridan Road in McMinnville. The show runs August 8th through 11th at the historic Elsinore Theater in Salem. All rehearsals, except the week before opening, will be held in McMinnville. For audition details, see Director Tracy Ward's Facebook page or call 971-237-8109. That's 971-237-8109. And as always, for information about other local events and touring shows on stage at the Elsinore, go to their website at elsinoretheater.com or their Facebook page. Gallery Theater is at gallerytheater.org. On stage through May 19th at Gallery Theater is Anastasia the Musical. From the twilight of the Russian Empire to 1920s Paris, a brave young woman sets out to discover the mystery of her past with the help of a dashing con man and a lovable ex-aristocrat. Auditions for a pair of one-acts, Trifles and Fool for Love, happen at Gallery Theater from 6 to 9 p.m. on May 5th. Go to gallerytheater.org/auditions to sign up. The one-act shows run July 26th through August 11th. Also, auditions for the musical Grease will be at Gallery June 2nd through 5th. Once again, check out the gallerytheater.org/auditions page to sign up. Kaiser Homegrown Theater is at kaiserhomegrowntheater.org. The Lifespan of a Fact runs June 14th through 30th at Kaiser Homegrown. Jim is a fresh out of Harvard fact checker for a sinking New York magazine. John is a talented writer who penned a transcendent essay about the suicide of a teenage boy, an essay that could save the magazine from its collapse. But when Jim fact checks John's essay, they come head to head in a comedic yet gripping battle over facts versus truth. The Majestic Theater is on Facebook at majestic.org. Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot runs May 13th at the Majestic in Corvallis. It's directed by Ashley Barbeau. And Majestic 8, a festival of 10-minute plays by Oregon and Washington playwrights, runs June 14th and 15th at the Majestic. The festival returns to Majestic Theater for the first time since 2019, and this year's 8 short plays were chosen from among 40 submissions. Mid-Valley Musical Theater is at mvmtheater.org and on Facebook at Mid-Valley Musical Theater. Auditions for their summer musical Mamma Mia are June 8th. Go to their website for details. Pentacle Theatre in Salem is at pentacletheatre.org. The fun comedy Ripcord by David Lindsay Abaire continues its run through May 11th at Pentacle Theatre. It's directed by Karen McCarty. Listen to our interview with Karen and actor Anthony Barghini wherever you get your podcasts. Auditions for the farce murder mystery Clue on Stage happen May 18th at Pentacle Theatre. Clue is directed by Brandon Gitchel and runs August 23rd through September 14th. Based on the 1985 movie, which was inspired by the classic board game, Clue is a hilarious farce meets murder mystery. For audition information, go to pentacletheatre.org or Pentacle's Facebook page, and we'll talk with Brandon about auditions later in today's program. The drama Boy Gets Girl by Rebecca Gilman runs June 7th through 29th at Pentacle Theatre. It's directed by Emily Loberg. And Joe Dodge's acting workshop for actors 18 and older is at Pentacle Theatre's rehearsal studio in downtown Salem. For more info on the next session, go to tickets.pentacletheatre.org or to the Pentacle Theatre Facebook page. Salem Playhouse is at thesalemplayhouse.com, and Salem Playhouse also offers acting classes for both kids and adults at Kaiser Homegrown Theater and adult-only classes at Chemeketa Community College. To sign up, go to thesalemplayhouse.com and click on the Classes tab. Spotlight Community Theater is at spotlightcommunitytheater.org, and coming up to Spotlight May 9th through 19th is Much Ado About West, a Western twist on one of Shakespeare's best comedies, adapted by Wade Bradford and directed by Franca Hernandez. Theater 33 at Willamette University is online at theater33.org and also on Facebook. Theater 33 has announced the productions for their Summer Festival 2024. Information about the full season of original plays in progress, including staged shows and pop-ups, is on Theater 33's Facebook page and website. You can catch our interview with Executive Director Thomas Nabhan and Artistic Director Susan Coramel wherever you get your podcasts. Opening the season on May 23rd through June 2nd is Apy by playwright Dan O'Madden and directed by Elizabeth Hellman. Grow, Learn, Play by Sarah Jean Acquardi and directed by Melody Irfani runs June 20th through 30th. And Gone by Lolly Ward and directed by Rod Ceballos runs July 25th through August 4th at the festival. The 2024 New Play Festival pop-ups include Group or Marlene is Dead by Sophia Molimbi, Red Line by Barbara Hume, and Wife of Headless Man Investigates Her Own Disappearance by Yusef L. At the colleges, Corban University at corban.edu/theater-arts. Corban is getting ready for its 2024 Summer Theater Camp. Stay tuned for Ann's and my interview with Tamara McGinnis, who has all the details for us. Western Oregon University is at wou.edu/theater, and May 29th through June 1st, John Proctor is the Villain will be on stage in the Rice Auditorium at Western Oregon University. That's directed by Riza Fleming. On the high school front, Central Oregon High School in Independence is at chsperformingarts.net. Central High's spring musical Legally Blonde runs May 11th through 18th. Check out their website or their Performing Arts Booster Club Facebook page for the showtimes and tickets. McKay High School is on Facebook at McKay Thespians. The spring musical at McKay this year is Little Shop of Horrors, and it runs May 10th through 18th. McNary High School is on Facebook at Ken Collins Theater, Shakespeare's classic Twelfth Night runs May 15th through 18th at McNary. North Salem High School is on Facebook at NSHS Theater. Sense and Sensibility is on the stage at North Salem High, and it plays May 23rd through 25th. South Salem High School is on Facebook at Saxon Drama. In the Rose Theater, you can see 12 Angry Jurors, May 10th through 18th. And South Salem's Spring Improv Night happens May 23rd. At Sprague High School, Disney's Frozen Jr. plays May 17th through 22nd. Tickets are at the door only. Kids 5 and under can see the show for free. And West Salem High School is at westsalemdrama.com. Radium Girls comes to the West Salem High stage May 23rd through 25th. And that wraps up our KMUZ Theater Talk calendar for plays around the Mid-Willamette Valley. Our first guest today is director Brandon Gitchel. He's here to talk about auditions for Clue on stage coming up May 18th at Salem's Pentacle Theatre. Welcome to KMUZ Theater Talk, Brandon. It's good to have you here.
Hi, great to be here.
Brandon, Clue is an iconic board game. Just about anyone has played that game at some point in their life. It's been around a bajillion years. There was a film done in the 1980s, and then there was a production written on the East Coast that turned into this show, Clue on Stage. What grabbed you about this show that you want to direct it at Pentacle Theatre?
Well, the first thing that got me is I just absolutely love the movie. The movie is so much fun and high energy. So I was really excited to hear that this was a potential option from Pentacle's play reading committee. And I went in and I read the script, and it's very faithful to the movie. It has a lot of the same beats and elements of the movie. It has the same kind of comedy. And it was really exciting to see that and the possibility of bringing that to the stage. Reading through it, even the first few times, it was one of those things where I kept thinking of the iconic movie scenes, but I was also thinking of how could this be brought to life on a live stage?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because film is different than being on stage live.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to be different from the film version on stage at Pentacle?
One of the biggest things right off the bat that our production team is talking about is all the different locations, because it all takes place within this giant mansion, and it has, I think it's 9 or 10 different rooms, which those of you who have played the board game would recognize. So we're finding out some creative ways to show the different locations, either through projections or furniture, those sorts of things. The other really fun part is that this is a high energy show that you get to be right next to the audience with. Pentacle is a very intimate setting. So it's going to be really fun to have that live energy feel. And it's not just the same repetition of a movie every time. You get to feel how the audience is reacting to it each night. You get to take that break for a laugh and be able to play along with the audience in that way.
Well, there are 8 main characters that you're auditioning for this show, and 3 ensemble characters that you need. Now, everybody knows the characters from the board game: Miss Scarlet, Mrs. Peacock, Mrs. White, Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, and Mr. Green. But there's also, in this version, the part of the butler and a French maid. And then there are 3 ensemble actors. Tell me about the ensemble actors and what they're going to be doing in this show.
Yeah, so the ensemble roles are very exciting. They get to do a couple different characters that are seen in the movie version. So we have the cook, we have the singing telegram girl, we have Mr. Body, and then some police officers and whatnot. And so they get to kind of jump back and forth between those roles. And so they get to be the cook for a little while, and then they switch to something else. And they get that really exciting part of being able to do a couple different things all in one production, all in one show.
Now, when we're all playing the board game, it's usually quite an active endeavor. There's a lot of conversation that happens between people, but there's also a lot of hiding of clues and all that sort of thing. What's with the roles of the butler and the maid because they're not in the board game.
I would say it's spot on that they're the ones kind of hiding the clues and guiding the conversation. And it's one of those things that as the mystery of the story unfolds, you find out how much do they actually know? How much are they involved? Or are they not involved at all? Are they totally innocent? It's that fun part. Especially I would say Wadsworth, the butler, is the guide for the audience. In the board game, you get to play and figure out the story on your own. In the play version, Wadsworth kind of helps move things along and direct the story just a little bit, but you still don't know what his intentions are and what he knows, what he doesn't know. So you still get, as an audience member, you get all of those mysteries to be able to unfold in front of you.
And the board game also has those cute little game pieces, the wrench and and the lead pipe and all that sort of good stuff. Are you going to have like some good sized props to carry that action on stage?
Oh yeah, we've started looking for some of those already. We actually have the wrench already. It was donated to us by an actor in a previous production. So we're going to get a couple of those, and they have a very fun kind of reveal in the show, a very fun dramatic moment of pulling all of them out and realizing, oh, these are the pieces from the board game. So it's gonna look really well.
So the audience is pretty much going to recognize that. That'll be fun.
Yes.
So Brandon, what do actors need to know who are planning to audition for this show?
This is a really exciting opportunity for actors because this is an ensemble show. So it's not like, say, your Hamlet, where you have your one main character and then the kind of other people that revolve around. This is something that most of the cast is on the stage throughout the entire show. Everyone gets chances to shine, and they all get to explore their characters and be a part of the story. The other great part is that there's a lot of flexibility for age ranges and just general casting. It's not where some plays you'll see, oh, this person is 35. There's a lot of flexibility. So I'm going to be going into the auditions not having a preconceived idea about how I want to find my people. It's really going to depend on who shows up, and then how do they read with each other, how do they perform with each other, and getting a strong cast that way. So I really, really encourage, if you've ever wanted to come out to the Pentacle stage, come audition for this, because there really is opportunities for everybody in this show.
And how are you going to audition the people that show up? Are you going to read from the script or play theater games? How's that going to work?
During auditions, we're going to have two main things. We're going to do some select readings from the script so that we can have some feeling for the characters and trying some things. And then we're also going to do some A-B scenes, which are usually just very short little scenes between usually two people. And there's not characters, it's not from a play. And we usually will give the person kind of a scenario. Maybe it's, imagine that this is a couple that's on the brink of divorce or something like that. And we just kind of see what you do with it. So that way it's not locked into an overarching story of a play, but we get a really nice moment to see what can you bring up, what can you create with this, and what kind of choices you can make. So those are the two things that we're going to be doing during auditions.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a great time.
Well, folks, auditions are May 18th for Clue on Stage, directed by today's guest, Brandon Gitchel. Auditions start at 1 o'clock at Pentacle Theatre, and that's located on 52nd Avenue, about 6 miles west of downtown Salem on Highway 22. Head on out and try and be about half an hour early to fill out an audition form. There's additional audition information that's available at pentacletheatre.org and on the Pentacle Theatre Facebook page. Brandon Gitchel, thank you so much for joining us here today on KMUZ Theater Talk to tell us about auditions for Clue happening May 18th.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Coming up next, Ann and I talk with Corban University's Tamara McGinnis about their upcoming High Hopes Summer Theater Camp. So stay with us.
We're talking with Tamara McGinnis, Executive Director of Theater Arts at Corban University, She's here to tell us about theater camp. High Hopes is the theme. Welcome, Tamara.
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, Tamara, another theater camp at Corban. You guys always have one. What's the theme about this year?
Well, we chose High Hopes, and part of it is the last couple of years I have really focused a lot on kind of rebuilding and looking toward the future and believing that there will be a tomorrow and that it will be okay. Kind of the post-COVID blues hit many people. And I decided that this year I wanted it still to be this very positive and let's go forward, but I wanted it to be less focused on where we'd come from and more focused on what lies ahead. And so I actually got inspired by a quote that I saw on the internet. The future is so bright, I'm going to need sunglasses.
That's great. I love that.
And our poster and everything is actually based on that quote. And we just have a picture of sunglasses and a sun behind it. And then we have High Hopes written on that. I really want to provide inspiration for our campers that the future is not something to be feared, that the future is just full of this potential waiting to be grabbed. We're trying to promote this idea that hope is the fuel to take us forward. Let's go. That obstacles really are just detour signs that direct us to where we're actually going to go.
What is the age range and grade level that you're aiming at this summer camp?
We start with kids that are going into grade 4, September 2024. And then we take them all the way up to 12th grade, and they can have graduated this summer. So they can be seniors who have graduated. And then we divide those into groups. We have groupings of grades 4 through 6. They meet together and have their own thing. And then 7 through 8 meet together and have their own thing. And then 9 through 12 have their own thing, so that the groups are grade and age appropriate.
So what kind of production are they aiming for?
Well, this camp is actually very focused on the process of creating theater, almost more than it is just heavy production focused. We have a recital because it's not a polished show at the end. It's good, and we add lights and we add costumes and we have sets and we have props and all of that. But in the amount of time that we have and in the emphasis that we have with this camp, it's less on creating a perfect end product and more on creating practitioners who understand the whole process of theater. And so we spend time working on how do you develop a script. And some of the groups actually write their own scripts. Some groups go with pre-established scripts, but then they all get an opportunity to at least experiment on script writing and learning how to craft script and then what makes a good script, that kind of thing. And then once we have a script in place, then they rehearse it. And then we also find a song that is either related to whatever their script focus is or is related to the theme of the camp, High Hopes. And they learn one camp song that is definitely focused on the High Hopes theme. And then they learn a song for their show. They learn dances, choreography to go with that song. And then we show all of that at the recital the last Saturday.
So do you have to have any prior experience or?
Absolutely not. We have usually a pretty good mix of people who have never done theater before and are kind of afraid to even open their mouths on stage. And then we have people who have been doing theater pretty much since they came out of the womb and are so excited you can hardly keep them off the stage. And we accommodate both of them and work hard at trying to challenge both.
And are you getting any like repeat campers? Are they coming back again all excited for their summer fun?
Yes, we actually get over half of our campers are repeat campers. And right now, we've only had our advertising out for a short time, but we have half of our camp filled already.
Wow.
I encourage people who are interested to go to our website and register ASAP. We do have scholarships available, and quite a few of those scholarships have already been claimed. So if people are interested in coming and would like to apply for scholarships, all of that information is online at our website.
And you can easily find the website by just doing a search for Corban University Theater Camp, and then you'll find a link right there.
Yes.
That sounds wonderful.
How many spaces are available for your camp overall?
We actually try to aim for about 60. We try to keep the classes to about 10 students for 2 teachers. We could go up to possibly 75, but we do try to cut it off before we get too big.
What are the dates and the hours of the camp itself?
We begin our first day on July 22nd, and it meets Monday through Friday that first week from 8:30 in the morning until noon. And then the second week, we go until August 3rd, and the Saturday, August 3rd, is the recital. And we have 2 recitals, one with the elementary groups and then one with the junior high school groups. That second week, we end at 12, except Thursday. They have a longer day when we do a dress rehearsal, but it's for the most part just a half-day camp.
What kind of teachers do you have?
We actually feature all of the teachers that are going to be in theater camp on our Facebook page. Our teachers generally are either graduates from Corban who have been involved in my theater program for the 4 years. Many of them are teachers out in the community, working in their schools and do theater either in their classroom or are helping with the theater group. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of the people are recent graduates from high school who have gone through the theater camp program and just want to come back and help. And then I think I have 2 that are current students in my theater program. And both of those students have gone through the theater camp since they were in 4th grade.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's great.
Yes,
That's great.
It is. It's a really good history. People believe in what we're doing and they just keep wanting to come back. I think the only thing that I would add is I do really love this theme. And part of it is I teach literature here at the university, and I'm a literary person and I love poetry. And another inspiration that made me think this would be a great theme came from a line in Emily Dickinson's poem. She says, "Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without words and never stops at all." And the thing I love about theater is that it's not just about text. It's not just that we say the right words from the script. It's this full body, full emotion involvement experience. And Emily's idea of hope being a bird that just sings, there aren't words to a bird's tune. And what makes the bird's tune beautiful? I don't know. It just is. It makes you feel things. It inspires you to do things. Sometimes it just causes you to reflect. Sometimes it soothes the broken heart. And there's no real explanation why it does that. It just does because it's beautiful. And one of the things that I love about theater involvement is that it involves the entire person. That you're not just there to stand there and say the words correctly, that you have to bring your heart, your mind, your soul, your body, and throw yourself into this whole process. And you will meet other people who are throwing their self into the process as well. And when you have that kind of energy and that kind of focus, and everybody is working together on this one project, it's just one of the most exciting things you could ever be a part of.
Well, Tamara, it's been great talking with you about Corban University's summer theater camp. It's called High Hopes. Theater Camp 2024 runs July 22nd through August 3rd at the Corban University campus in the east part of Salem. It's a beautiful setting, and it's going to be a fun time for your kids. So if your kid is entering 4th grade or has just graduated from high school, that's the age range that theater camp is aimed at. And the deadline for early registration is May 31st, and the final registration deadline is July 1st. You can register by searching for Corban University Theater Camp. That'll take you right to the link for registration. So check it out, folks. Thank you very much, Tamara McGinnis, for joining us here on KMUZ Theater Talk.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's time to wind up today's KMUZ Theater Talk program. Thank you so much for joining us. Next Friday at 9 a.m., you can tune into KMUZ at 100.7 FM to hear Talking About Art with Joel Zach. KMUZ Theater Talk is a proud member of the Mid-Valley Theater Network. And KMUZ Theater Talk comes your way at 9 a.m. the first and third Friday of the month on your radio or smart speaker at 100.7 and 88.5 FM, or on your favorite radio app and streaming live at kmuz.org. You can also listen to our KMUZ Theater Talk programs anytime, wherever you get your podcasts. Ann and I will return May 17th with a brand new KMUZ Theater Talk program. Meanwhile, check out our KMUZ Theater Talk Facebook page for news and updates about live theater in the Mid-Willamette Valley. And if you haven't yet joined in to support Theater Talk and the rest of KMUZ's great community radio programs, go to kmuz.org right now, click on the Pledge to Your Favorite Show box, and choose Theater Talk. And thanks. Until next time, we'll see you in the front row.